Unit 6, From the Black Death to COVID-19, A Brief History of Pandemics, July 13th. The current COVID-19 pandemic came as a shock to the world and has radically affected the way we think and behave in the global village. While a number of nations have done well in safeguarding their communities against the ravages of the disease, the outbreak has shown how unprepared many of us have been for such an emergency. This is not the first pandemic the world has faced. One of the earliest was the Justinian Plague. Between 541 and 542 AD, 40 million people, half the world's population at the time, perished as the disease spread throughout Asia, Africa, and Europe. Researchers found that the Justinian Plague was caused by the same type of bacteria that led to the Black Death 800 years later. Unbeknownst to people of the time, these plagues were spread by rodents whose fleas carried the deadly disease. The Black Death killed 50 million people across Europe and changed the course of human evolution. By eliminating those with the weakest immune systems, the plague allowed those with the most resilient DNA to remain alive and reproduce. This helped their offspring survive subsequent diseases. In 1918, the world confronted a viral pandemic. The Spanish flu did not actually originate in Spain, but it spread quickly from Europe to other continents. It was especially crippling to the immune systems of healthy adults, often causing pneumonia and eventually killing millions. This pandemic changed attitudes toward deadly diseases. Previously, the poor and the weak were blamed for their own illnesses. The Spanish flu taught people that viruses do not discriminate in terms of who their victims are. The Sars epidemic of 2003 was not nearly as fatal. Only about 8,000 people became sick, with a total of 774 deaths. However, it was an unusually fierce illness that, like the Spanish flu, caused extreme breathing problems and required hospitalization. Although it induced a worldwide panic, it did not reach the severity of the Spanish flu. If modern medical practices and global electronic media hadn't been as advanced as they were, the rate of infections and mortality could have been just as disastrous. COVID-19 is a SARS-like virus, but is proving to be more contagious. These increasingly lethal diseases are highlighting our need to prepare for the next epidemic.